Hey guys, Cat Shaw coming at you home with a video. Today's video we're going to be doing a Chaos review into the Spider-Verse. I'm super excited to review it, and it's pretty much one of my favorite movies right now. And it's very exciting. I hope you guys do see it. It's already been out for a couple of days right now. It's probably been like close to 4 to 3 days. And I gotta say, the actors did a great job. Jake Johnson, greater actor I thought he would be. He pretty much played the character Nick Miller on New Girl. If you guys ever seen New Girl, it's pretty much one of my favorite series. I put it right there to How I Met Your Mother, and I love How I Met Your Mother. That's always gonna be like a 10 out of 10. That's always been like one of my shows I'll watch just to watch. I'm gonna give you guys like the full spoiler review, so I'm gonna give you guys a moment, and there's gonna be something on the screen that's gonna say spoiler, like it usually does. So I'm gonna give you guys a moment. Here it goes. So how do you guys' days going? Tell me in the comments. Oh yeah, guys. Before I really get into it, is I actually have a week off, so I'm going to be doing a Chaos week of videos. So this is going to be showing up on Monday instead of Sunday. Cause, we're going to be doing like Monday the beginning of the week because I didn't get a chance to do a review. I'm doing a review on Monday, but I'm going to be filming like every other day. Like the filming is going to show up, like there's going to be something on Tuesday, there's going to be something on Monday. There's going to be something during the week. There's going to be something. And I can't wait to show you guys. It's going to be very fun. All week of Chaos videos. You guys haven't seen this in like so long. I haven't done a Chaos video, a week of Chaos, in like forever. And I hope you guys really do enjoy it. This is what I love to do. I like to do. Hopefully this will bring me back to making YouTube videos, and that's what I'm really hoping. So it's going to be week one, with day one of making the week of Chaos. So I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, the spoiler is over. Alright guys, so Into the Spider-Verse is basically a family movie. We get to see how all these guys act and how a lot of people react. We're dealing with a lot of people whose name is Spider-Man. A lot of people who are Spider-Man. We get to meet Miles Morales. Miles Morales, they pretty much take a lot of it from the comic book, from the Ultimate Spider-Man comic books, like most people do. He got into this amazing school after winning a contest and winning a raffle and passing a test. So his school, he feels like an outcast. In this version of Miles Morales, he's a street artist. His dad, who's a cop, doesn't want him to do all that. He wants him to keep his head into work, because he's an amazing student. Even teachers believe that he's an amazing student. He's feeling a little bit overwhelmed about all the extra work and everything that's going on in the school, because he feels like an outsider looking in. He feels like people are putting too much pressure on him, and he's not getting like enough air to stretch around. His mom is always there for him, just to be there, being a good mom. We get to after he had a hard day at work. School. He goes to hang out with his Uncle Aaron. Uncle Aaron pretty much believes in let him to be who he was, and they go to his underground sewer path, and it's a great building for street art, and he does this whole mural, and at this point where he does the mural, he gets bit by the spider. That's 42 Spider. I don't know if it's from a different dimension. Sometimes it started glitching. See, what's happened in a lot of those things. So every time somebody's from a different dimension, they start glitching in and out of reality, because apparently their atoms can't form. I think the Flash explains this better sometimes. Like, people are vibrating at a different frequency, and the ultimate universe that they're in, I'm assuming this is the ultimate universe, even though it's kind of different, they're vibrating at another frequency. It's hard for them to vibrate at the frequency that Miles Morales' universe is in. Now, in this universe, Spider-Man is Peter Parker. He is the hero that everybody he is the hero that everybody loves. And pretty much, he has comic book merch and all that. Somehow, he has comic book detailing his whole comic book life stuff, like how he got his powers, how freaked out he was getting his power. Somehow, my whole thing is about that. How did, if he's letting these people write these comic books, why? I have so many questions. Like one, because it's pretty much piece by piece right out of the actual comic of the first Spider-Man comic book of it, like who he was becoming Spider-Man. It's weird and it makes no sense. So anyway, Miles goes after getting bit by the spider. He started feeling a little bit uncomfortable and weird. Actually get to meet Gwen. This is Spider-Gwen. She's also from a different reality. Spoiler alert! You've already seen it. So Gwen is played by Haley Steinfeld, an amazing actress, an amazing singer, and I just love how she plays Gwen, confident and kind of standoffish. Now Gwen, she's coming right off of pretty fresh off of the Peter Parker lizard thing. You guys don't know her origin story. I'll give you a brief cursory. Her origin story: she was the one who got bit by a spider and became a superhero, and Peter wanted to help her out and wanted to do the thing that she does. He made himself into the lizard instead of Dr. Connor, and he turned himself into a monster. And during the fight, he accidentally was killed. He pretty much was her version of Uncle Ben. It's a lot different, and it's pretty dark when you really start to think about it. So anyway, Gwen right now is Miles Morales' age, about 15. I think Miles is like 14 years old. So there's a little chemistry right there, but they don't really go towards it at the end. They decide to just be friends, which I think is a lot better because you don't want every time there's a female lead, you don't want them to be like, all right, a relationship. I did like that. So she's also from a different universe. I'll get to that later. So Miles is starting to get his powers. He goes back to this place where his uncle Aaron took him to, and he finds the spider. Spider is pretty much the same. It was the spider that gave him powers. These powers are different in the same. He gets super strength spider speed, spider. He technically does have a healing factor. It depends on who's writing. Able to crawl and stuff. They have a lot of. They do that long range of crawling on stuff jokes. So during investigating the spider, he hears an explosion. He goes off running deeper into the tunnel, and he sees Spider-Man fighting the Green Goblin. The Green Goblin in this version is pretty much based off the Ultimate version of Spider-Man. Spider-Man's trying to beat him up, and apparently there's this super collider. This thing was built by the Kingpin and his men, and the female version of Dr. Octopus. Now, I gotta say, I did not think they were gonna do. I did not see that coming. I did not know they were gonna do a female version of Dr. Octopus, and I really did like it. It was pretty cool. So anyway, she built this collider because the Kingpin wanted to bring his wife and his son back. The reason for that is Peter and Kingpin had a big old fight. His wife was instead of remember in Daredevil where she was like all fours like kill him. You could stop him right now. He will never get away with us. He will never separate us again if you kill him right now. And this version, when she saw Kingpin almost about to kill Spider-Man, she was like, "What? No, I can't have this happen!" And then she runs off in a car. She gets T-boned along with her son. So they both die. Kingpin was super depressed about it. He hates Spider-Man for this. He lost his wife and the child he loves. So that's why he's building a super collider to get back the woman he loves and the child that he wants to raise and be the father he should be, but can't separate the Kingpin from Wilson Fisk. So anyway, during the whole super collider is activated, Spider-Man tries to defeat the Green Goblin. Miles Morales is there, and he accidentally gets into the fight. And during one of the fights, he beats the Green Goblin. And he almost hurts Miles. He saves Miles, and he realizes when their spider senses were going off, apparently Spider-Man and Spider-Man can sense each other's spider sense. That's a new one. And Peter realized that Miles is just like him, and he realized he's not alone anymore. Because this version of Peter Parker in this universe, he's alone. He's the only superhero, apparently. They haven't really gone into detail to see the other superheroes in the universe, but apparently he was the only one in New York. I don't know if they're Avengers. They're not exploring to that. I mean, because they only own Spider-Man, so they're just gonna be talking about Spider-Man. So, and besides, Spider-Man really doesn't like to be with the Avengers sometimes. Sometimes he does. He's like all about the Avengers. Sometimes not. Just like the X-Men, Fantastic Four. He joins a lot of teams. Quits them all. He is not consistent with teams. So anyway, during the whole so Peter tries to destroy the collider because he's fearing that Kingpin's going to be using this machine to hurt people, and it does hurt because it's popping in and out. Reality is starting to being turned up, and it's reality is starting to be turned up a little bit, and it's starting to mess around. But Kingpin doesn't care about anything. He just wants his wife and son back. He doesn't care about anybody else or anything else. And that's pretty much what's his problem. They're pretty much basing that version of Kingpin, at least that's how I believe, off the Spider-Man the animated series, amazing series. Go watch. It's pretty much as better or as good as Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man. Oh my goodness, it was so good. So anyway, during the fight, they exploded the collider. It didn't destroy the machines. It destroyed most of the material around it. It did. Miles Morales was able to be safe, but Spider-Man during the explosion was near it, and he was really hurt bad. So Spider-Man gives Miles microchip, the USB drive to send a virus to destroy the machine. He gets hands off to Miles. Miles runs off. The Kingpin, the Tombstone, and the Green Goblin come near him, and Kingpin rips off the mask, and Spider-Man making jokes trying to distract him, but the Kingpin ain't having it, and he kills Peter Parker. This is pretty much the same story element that they're trying to bring from the original comic book, where Peter Parker did sacrifice his life to save his Aunt May, Mary Jane, and Gwen. The Death of Spider-Man. There's a motion comic about it. I'll leave in the link in the description, or something right here will pop up. Hopefully, you guys should definitely watch it. Check it out. It's a great series. It makes me feel the feels. So they do so after Spider-Man dies, someone found him, and they do a whole funeral for him. It's pretty much Death of Superman, like the original Death of Superman. Everybody's super sad. It's pretty bad. Miles realizes what he has to do. He has to stop the Kingpin. So he goes and buys a Spider-Man suit, like he did in the comic book, and we get to see Stanley. I already filmed this a couple of times, so I had to film this again because it was messed up. But I really want to say this. I am so sorry for Stanley in his passing and everyone else who feels the same way. I didn't make a tribute video. I felt it would be too messed up. I just want to say I miss Stanley, and I'm so sorry that he's passed away. And I really do miss Stanley. And I think everyone who feels that same way, and hopefully they feel immeasurably a little bit better. When I first saw it, it made me tear up a little bit, because I was thinking, I never got to meet the guy, and I really wanted to meet him, because he changed my life. Spider-Man is my, and always will be one of my favorite superheroes, and I just wanted to thank him for giving me that. He probably knows that he gave so many nerdy people that emotion and feeling of, you're not alone, you'll never be alone. And that pretty much was the movie, you'll never be alone, because anybody could be Spider-Man, and anybody could write the Spider-Man. And I gotta say, this Stanley, Steve Ditko, and everyone who was around Marvel at that time, thank you so much for giving a geeky guy like me something like that. Alright. R.I.P. Stanley. Alright, now we got that out of the way. That's gonna be a bit downer. Anyway, getting back to the movie. So Miles started to use the suit to figure out how to use his powers, but he doesn't really understand. So he goes to Peter's graveyard, to the graveyard where Peter has been laid, and he looking out there, and he accidentally broke the USB drive to destroy the machine. And he's looking over Peter's grave. And he's like, I don't know, I can't do it like you could, and he's just downing himself so much. And he hears something, and he gets touched by another Spider-Man, the Spider-Man from a different universe. Now, this Spider-Man is also played by Jake Johnson. He is a kind of a loser. He invested too much of his time into becoming a superhero, and to the point where he felt scared and terrified of having a child. He invested his money into bad things. He's living into a horrible apartment, pretty much just like Spider-Man from the first movie, and life isn't good. He's out of shape. He's not Spider-Man ready. Not like huge out of shape, just like beer belly. He's still pretty fit. I gotta get that to him. I really did like that Jake Johnson was pretty much embracing his Dick Miller from New Girl. Again, watch the series. It's so good. It's on Hulu and Netflix. Watch it, please. It's hilarious. Anyway, so he pretty much, Miles needs to be trained, and since that Spider-Man version of Spider-Man said he would train him, but this version of Spider-Man's like, no, I ain't trained no nuke. Some kid who could get himself killed. I'm not going to have that on my conscience. But he realized, he takes up the USB drive. That's the only way he could destroy Kingpin's machine. But it's destroyed, so he has to break back into the Kingpin company and get a new virus together. Like he did, like the first Spider-Man did. So they break into Kingpin's company, and Malcolm, I forgot what's it called. As they're breaking in, he starts teaching Miles little things about his powers. He starts realizing Miles is different, such as his shocking power. It's spider venom, like a spider shock venom, and be able to change his. He's able to turn invisible or bend light around him, or it's a whole. I've heard it many other ways. So anyway, after he gets all the detail he needs off of the Dr. Octopus, the female Dr. Octopus, she was hilarious. Kathleen Hanna, who plays Dr. Octopus, hilarious, just the best. She changed her Dr. Octopus suit is a lot different. It's pretty much the same. She does up her hair and everything, and put on the goggles. And her tentacles actually look like, well, it looks like worms. That's the best way I could place it. It looks like worms. It's very gross looking how it moves. It looks terrifying. Her hair, when she ties it up, it looks like a octopus head. So after they try to escape, they realize that they're no match, and they can't get away from her so fat. Like they can't get away with her as good because they're outnumbered, outgunned. And the Spider-Man from that other universe isn't the greatest, and Miles could get himself killed. So they actually did get help from Gwen Stacy. Gwen was doing some undercover ops, and after she helped them, they were able to escape with the hard drive. They go to May Parker to find a place to lay low for a while. May Parker is pretty much how she took it in the comic book. Super happy. This is Spider-Man. They actually had a comic book with Miles Morales meets the 6161 Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, and that's pretty much how it goes off with that. Less comedy and less awesome looking art. Seriously, the art style in this movie, it's amazing. It's like a 90s rap album. That's like the best way I could describe it. It looks so beautiful. It's weird looking too. Don't get me wrong. I love it, but at the same time, not my favorite way of art, but it's so beautiful too. So anyway, Aunt May takes him into this tool shed, and apparently that version of Spider-Man invested a lot of time and research to build a spider cave underneath this tool shed in Aunt May's backyard. I'm like, what? He actually has the whole Batman setup. He even has the spider buggy and a spider motorcycle built, and he actually have his whole suits just in case he needs them. And there's even one from the video game. So I was like, oh man, they should have had a video game come out around this time. They could have made it even more big than they had when it first came out. I mean, seriously, this movie would have made them trillions. If it made them so much more money, AT&T would be able to buy them out. So anyway, they meet the other Spider-Man. The other Spider-Man we're going to meet is a Japanese girl named Peter Parker, and she's played by Kimu Lin. I feel like I butchered that name. And Spider-Ham, who's played by John Muir, and he's hilarious. I love him. I love him from SNL. He's just so funny. Just a very funny dude. And we get to meet Nicolas Cage version of Spider-Man. This is the Noir Spider-Man, and I'll give you a brief history of the one because I read that comic and I really love the Noir Spider-Man. That version of Noir Spider-Man takes place in the Great Depression. Peter Parker is pretty much trying his hardest to get revenge on the men who killed his Uncle Ben. The Vulture and the King and the Green Goblin, who was running the crew at that time. Now that during his ops to try and find more information about the Green Goblin's crew, he was accidentally accidentally dropped the tiki of ancient spider god or whatever, and bites him all over and gives him the amazing power of Spider-Man, which is able to super strength, web it, and he goes out to the streets and fights crime. In this universe, he's a PI who, he's so dark and moody and angry. He doesn't really talk like this, but I feel like he should have talked like this. Which I thought was awesome. Nicolas Cage did a great job as Spider-Man. He did a great job as Superman as well, but I would never want to see a live-action version of Nicolas Cage as Superman. I'm sorry, and whoever's out there is like, oh, what's your live action Nicolas Cage Superman? I'm not down for it, bro. Anyway, getting towards the they pretty much want to know everything about this version of Spider-Man, the Miles Morales version of Spider-Man. Can he control his powers? Can he do this? And they realize that he can. Miles runs away to get to space and goes to his Uncle Aaron's, who understands him. And once he's in Uncle Aaron's, he's leaving a message for him because he doesn't see him. The Prowler walks in, and he's dressed in the Prowler costume. Miles hides, and he takes off the mask, and it's, surprise, surprise, Uncle Aaron. So Miles runs out and escapes, but apparently the Prowler was tracking Spider-Man. At this point, he doesn't know that was his nephew. So they break it. So all the enemy. Tombstone and Dr. Octopus and everyone, and the Scorpion, who's Spanish, who also has cybernetic implants. He even has the whole Darth Maul legs, if you guys know what I'm talking about. That's another reference. And he pretty much destroys Aunt May's house. Aunt May, she's so hilarious. She beats the Tombstone out of her house with a baseball bat. I'm like, go Aunt May, go Aunt May. There's a sexy Aunt May from Spider-Man Homecoming, but there's you, Aunt May. Because you beat Tombstone with a baseball bat. I give it to you. That's awesome. Which is kind of disappointing. Tombstone doesn't really get to talk. Anyway, after the whole battle, Miles is being tracked by the Prowler. They're on top of the roof. Miles takes off the mask, and Prowler realizes who he is, and he's not going to kill him. And then the Kingpin shoots him for not doing his job. And they beat up, they led the Kingpin's gun, but he got away. Pretty much, and then everyone else of the Spider crew got away. And Miles is back in his room, just moping about, feeling sad for himself and feeling sad that he lost Uncle Aaron. And now, the version of Spider from the other universe comes to Miles in his room. He's like, dude, I get it. It happens to all of us. Well, I lost my Uncle Ben. Gwen's like, I lost my, I lost my best friend, and it pushes us to become greater. But you aren't, and the reason they were there to get the USB chip that they made a new one thanks to the new because the Japanese spider woman, spider robot. I don't know how to explain it. Built. Miles was the one supposed to use it because if anyone other than him use it, they'll be trapped in the universe, and then because they're not be able to stay in this one universe because they're not vibrating the right frequency, they will die. And that's why Miles was the one who should have used it, but they realized Miles isn't ready. He's not emotionally prepared for this job, and so they leave and go stop the Kingpin. So Miles really, he starts to get, after having a brief little heart-to-heart with his dad, not be able to talk to him, but hearing him, and he finally realized that he has to get his head into the game and realized that he has to take a leap of faith. That was pretty much was the whole thing. Take a leap of faith, trust yourself, and be able to be the one behind the mask, the new one behind the mask, because anyone can be Spider-Man, anyone can do it. As long as you have faith in yourself and be able to take the leap of faith. So he goes to Ame, she gives him a new suit, he redesigns the suit, and he goes into the Kingpin's compound, and the Kingpin's having a party upstairs, so they go downstairs to go to destroy the machine. The other spider people, they tried to stop him. They stopped the machine, but they were already ready for them, and they pretty much were almost taken down. Miles came, helped give him the upper hand, and were able to go toe to toe with most of these people. Now the Kingpin is like he's losing it. He's losing it. He's like, I don't care what is it about. I want to. They're like, it could be dangerous. It could be destructive. They're like, I don't care. I want to bring back my family. So after all that, Miles sends them all away, sends them back home. Miles is the only one who's able to stop the Kingpin alone. That version of Peter Parker is going to try to be a better person. He's going to beat her first wife this time, and he's going to try to get a second chance for Mary Jane, his version of Mary Jane, and become the hero back in his city. So Miles is able to take down the Kingpin and arrest him and pretty much take down all of the bad guys. Most of them were already down or got away. So now Miles is that version of Spider-Man, and the whole city is now proud that he's Spider-Man. Even his dad, who wasn't really a big fan of Spider-Man, is proud to have Spider-Man around. Even though still not a big fan. They'd rather see him in prison, but he knows that Spider-Man serves a purpose. And towards the end, spoiler alert, we're going to have an end credit scene, and it's to 2099 Miguel O'Hara Spider-Man. What I like, my true thing about this movie, it's so great. It's a great movie, and I want to give it an 8 point. Let's give it an 8.7 out of 10. 8.7 out of 10. Well, my original game was like 8.5 out of 10, but this movie was a lot better. I give it 8.7 out of 10. It's a great movie. Please watch it. Watch it with the family if you want to watch it with the family. I gotta say, I love this movie so much, and I really hope you guys do like it too. Like and comment below. Now, I do want to tell you before I end the video, weekly videos starting Monday, because this video is going to be coming out Monday. Weekly videos, Khaos videos. Going to be another one Tuesday. They're going to be doing a thing for Power Rangers since we just hit our 2,000 views. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for that. I'm going to do something. I'm going to get started in the script soon. I'm going to do that all Monday. And there's going to be another video coming out Sunday. And there's going to be an Aquaman trailer I'm reviewing coming out probably Thursday. I don't know. And it's going to be a whole new set of videos and probably a parody coming out maybe Sunday. I don't know. I'm still working on stuff. So I want to say, you guys, peace out, and I hope you guys are ready for